Can't bring you with me this time.
Hey, welcome back to ScreenCrush. I'm Colton Ogburn. So let's talk about that Penguin finale. We are going to explain this ending, the real reason why Oz kills Vic, and why he decided to spare Sophia. We're going to dive into the Penguin's psychology and all of his choices in this brilliant ending. And we'll also talk about the real reason why Batman didn't appear in this show and why no one even mentioned him once. So let's get into it. And we have to start with why Oz kills Victor.
You're like family to me.
The reason why Oz kills Vic is actually very complicated. The whole final episode is about the unmasking of the Penguin. We basically knew that Oz was a bad guy from the start, but there were so many moments that made us actually like Oz and even sympathize with him.
Steak fried.
Hey, don't do that. The man was speaking. Let him finish.
Those moments might have been genuine, however, there was always something broken in Oz ever since he killed his own brothers when he was just a boy. So having the show end with the Penguin becoming the irredeemable kingpin of Gotham makes him a far more menacing villain going into the Batman Part 2. Like we've talked about before in our breakdowns, this was an origin story for an iconic Batman villain. Now, when Oz kills Vic, he says it's because family is a weakness he can no longer afford.
I mean, that's the thing about family. It's your strength. If it don't make you weak, too. And I can't have that no more.
Is that because his mom wanted to kill him?
Well, that's part of it, and Sophia used Francis as a bit of a bargaining chip against Oz. He was willing to give up his entire operation just to save his mother, and it nearly cost him everything. And then Sophia and her creepy psychiatrist boyfriend exposed his deepest, darkest secret. Now it's all out in the open, and what makes it so much more painful is that Francis already knew.
I know what you did to Jack and Betty. I always known.
And she just went along with all those lies for years. So the person closest to him was used against him and he almost lost everything. And Oz allowed Vic to get closer than anyone else.
I'm gonna need you with my mom. I ain't got no one else I can trust.
But it goes deeper than trust. This is of course all rooted in his childhood repressed traumas, his narcissism, and the complicated relationship with his mother. Oz is usually a very calculated person and he has all these schemes going and he's very good at manipulating people. But the slightest insult triggers his extreme insecurity, which is his #1 flaw. And this leads to impulsive overreactions. Like how he pulls a gun on Carmine in front of like half of the police department, or when he kills Alberto for making fun of him at the beginning of this series. Hell, he even betrayed Sophia for insulting him.
I don't care what you think. No one does. You are my driver. That is all you are. So stop talking and drive.
And why did he let his brothers drown? Because they pulled a prank on him. When Oz embarrassingly admits to Francis why he killed Alberto,
Fucking laugh at me.
she denigrates him.
Is that what you are, Oswald? Weak little pussy boy?
She belittles him, she insults his masculinity, and she begins speaking to him like a child. But then she lifts him up and tells him that what he did wasn't an outburst and that he acted like a man.
This city is meant to be yours, sweetheart. What are you gonna do to get it?
Frances is a complicated woman. She was a single mother to 3, and she lived with hardships and dementia. And she shaped Oz into the man that he becomes.
So the Penguin's just a mama's boy? That's what you're saying, person? It's all his mother's fault?
No, not at all. Oz is a monster, and by no means am I shifting the blame onto Frances. But let's be clear, Frances did have a role in the man that he becomes. I mean, she is his mom and she did raise him.
Because I deserve a happy life.
I deserve a better life. You promised me, Oswald.
Promise.
This scene is so disturbing because it has a very different meaning after the finale. Frances knew Oz killed her sons, and she and Rex Calabrese were going to kill him. And remember, Rex Calabrese was the mob boss Oz idolized since he was a boy. Rex is Oz's inspiration, and that's the kind of mobster that he aspires to be.
They throw a parade in his honor. Can you imagine? To be remembered like that?
However, like so many things about the Cobbs, it's a mask to hide his true nature. And we see the origins of this lie when young Oz gives Frances the perfect speech that changes her mind about killing him. He promises her a high society status. He will give her a life without hardship, a life that she deserves.
No one else believes in you like me. No one else is gonna give you what you deserve. Just don't give up on me.
And Oz would give these kinds of speeches to other people as well, telling them exactly what they wanted to hear and selling them on a better life. Now, she makes the choice to live with her horrible truth as long as Oz gives her the life that she wants.
I don't know how else I can live with this, Oswald, but she'll make me happy. Because I deserve a happy life.
And Francis truly believes that Oz is capable of achieving everything that he desires. And we see that this is true come the end of this series when Oz finds a way to turn his outbursts into an advantage.
You still think there's good and bad, right and wrong? There ain't. There's just this. Survival.
And I actually believe that this is the real reason why Oz lets his brothers die. He didn't meticulously plan to kill them, it was about getting back at them for what they did to him. He got mad about the prank and he locked his brothers in the tunnels. Oz always acts out when he feels attacked. And in this scene, you can see the wheels turning in his head when he gets back home. When the rain is pouring down, he knows exactly what that means for his brothers, and he still decides to let them drown. He was jealous of sharing with them their mother's attention and love. And this choice is his defining moment. And this is the key to understanding why Oz kills Vic.
You're a good man, Vic. You got a good heart. It wasn't for nothing.
Oz sees a lot of himself in Vic. They're both kids who grew up in poverty in Crown Point, and they both have a disability that makes people look down on them. And like Oz, Vic is ambitious and seeks a better life.
Don't you want a better life than this?
The reason why Oz trusted Vic so much, even letting him take care of his mother, is because Vic is a genuinely good kid, and he turns to a life of crime because he had no other choice. So Oz took him under his wing. Vic's speech to the other crime bosses convinces Link and the other subordinates to rise against their bosses and take over. Oz gave a similar speech to the bosses previously, but Vic is the one who finally pushes them to take action.
The whole world, they treat us like we don't matter. Like we're nothing. You're just gonna run away now?
And now Oz is jealous of Vic. Oz underestimated them, just like Sophia, and just like how everyone underestimated Oz himself his entire life. Sophia offers the keys to the kingdom to anyone who brings her Oz. And while the bosses are ready to take that deal, the offer leads to her downfall, as this arrangement only enriches the crime lords while their underlings get the scraps.
You want us to believe you're gonna walk away from all of this?
I mean, such wealth is everything. The kind of money that they struggled and worked so hard for their entire lives. It only reinforces what Oz and Vic preached about the wealthy elites and the class disparity in the criminal underworld of Gotham.
Those soft-bellied pricks, they run this whole city. Why the hell not us?
And we have to remember, it was Vic, not Oz, who inspired Link and the others to take action. And Vic just changed the entire criminal landscape of Gotham.
So Oz thinks that Vic will betray him too?
Well, no, I don't think Vic would. Ironically, he's the only person in his life that looked up to him rather than down on him. Once again symbolizing how Oz's path to the bottom was actually his ticket to the top, and Vic was one of the first keys to making that happen. Like everyone else looked down on Oz, Vic saw where Oz was headed, to the top.
You gave people jobs in Crown Point. You got the power back on. Nobody did that. Nobody else did that. Nobody even tried. You gave people dignity.
In Oz's mind, it could have played the other way. What if Vic chose to sell Oz out, just like he himself sold out Sophia to Carmine? Oz paved his way to the top with blood, lies, and betrayal. I mean, hell, his mother just stabbed him, and the man Oz respected so much was going to kill him. So how can Oz trust anyone at this point? So Vic had to die in order for Oz to become the undisputed kingpin of Gotham. It might be lonely at the top, but at least you don't need to worry about being pushed off by anyone.
It was worth it. Guy like me. Getting all that meant I could have a better life. I don't regret what I got.
And I think that some part of Oz, beneath all of his narcissism, did truly care for Vic, and he actually did see him like family. Now that his mother can no longer provide him with the admiration he craves, Vic might become a bit of a surrogate. So Oz believes that he must remove Vic from his life before he cannot bring himself to kill him.
And I can't have that no more. Please. I can't have that shit. I can't. Please. It's too much. Please. Too much.
And this is why Oz is such a well-written character. There are so many layers to him.
Onions have layers. Ogres have layers. Onions have layers. You get it. We both have layers.
And guys, there is thematic significance to how Oz kills Vic. Now, the first thing that I immediately thought of was The Sopranos when Tony choked Chris to death.
Suffocated on his own blood.
But Oz strangling Vic is a direct callback to Carmine Falcone. Carmine murdered countless women by strangulation. He even tried to strangle Selena, his own daughter. He was the real hangman. And while he didn't choke Sophia, he did wrap his bloody hands around her neck mentally. Those scars that Sophia leaves on her neck are really the scars of the trauma caused by her father. So it's not a coincidence that Oz kills Vic the same way Carmine killed so many women before. Carmine saw Sophia as the heir to the Falcone crime empire because she was like him, just like how Oz sees himself in Vic. The moment Carmine suspected that Sophia was digging for answers about what really happened to her mother, Carmine saw that as a threat, once again paralleling Oz and Vic in this final moment.
You're never gonna find peace, you know that? You're going to hell. Sweetheart.
I'll save you a seat.
Okay, now speaking of Carmine and Sophia, let's explain why Oz doesn't kill Sophia. After Link betrays his boss, Oz drives Sophia around like he used to, only now he's the one at the top, literally in the driver's seat. He had her at his mercy, but instead of getting his revenge, he let the police arrest her.
Okay, so why did he let her live?
Don't forget that Oz has a very disturbing and sadistic side to him. So Oz wants Sophia to suffer, not just because of her costing him his drug operation or torturing Francis. Sophia robbed him from his chance to show his mom that he finally achieved everything he promised her he would.
How's your mom? Has she told you she loves you yet?
And the worst fate for Sophia is being sent back to Arkham. And what's so ironic here is that Sophia understood that her vengeance was making her just like Carmine. She even almost allowed Gia, her cousin's daughter, to suffer just like what Carmine did to her. So Sophia finally decided to free herself from her father's suffocating grasp once and for all. But now that she's back in Arkham, there is no hope other than, visits from her creepy boyfriend.
You're so creepy, man. You're just so fucking creepy.
But then she gets a letter from Selena Kyle, aka Catwoman, her half-sister. And we think this is a hint to Sophia returning in Batman 2, where she and Catwoman might finally team up. Kristen Milioti, after all, did steal this show. She was so freaking good in this role. So I would love to see her return in the next Batman movie. But this letter from Selena does have a deeper significance for Sophia. Sophia is guilty of bombing Crown Point, but everyone still believes that she is the hangman when really she's not. When Carmine framed her, her entire family turned on her. The only one who stood by her was Alberto, her brother, who is now dead. This is why Sophia was so infuriated by Oz gaslighting his mother, even letting Sophia torture her.
Just because somebody knows something doesn't mean that they don't need to hear it from the person who hurt them.
Don't, Sophia, don't.
I will never get that from my father.
So, this letter from a sister she didn't know she even had is a type of absolution for Sophia. She might be locked in hell, she might have committed horrible crimes, but at least she's got a sister who believes that she didn't strangle all of those women. Selena knows that Carmine is the real hangman, so in a way, Selena becomes that beacon of light for Sophia, just how Alberto used to be. And for Sophia, sharing the truth with a family member is a tiny glimpse of hope in her hopeless existence.
My brother visited me every week. He said that there was something left, that he was gonna help me fight to keep it.
And hey, by the way, we are going on tour with our ScreenCrush live show.
So wait, what happens at a live show?
Oh man, we are going to show the things that they won't let us show here on YouTube, and we're going to have nerdy debates like, for instance, I like Joker 2. We're also planning to have special guests, exclusive videos, and merch, trivia, but most importantly, I want to see you guys live and in person, as does Ryan. We did a live show in February, and it was so much fun just to be surrounded by our fellow nerds.
And some of you are not good-looking people.
Oh, so it's like a mini Comic-Con?
Exactly. So the full list of tickets and dates are below. And for a limited time only, tickets are 15% off. Our next show is on November 14th in Boston, Massachusetts. So get tickets now before we sell out. And super quick, I want to mention our merch store. On screen, you can see just some of our awesome nerddom-inspired shirts, hoodies, bags, mouse pads, mugs.
Saddles.
No, we don't have saddles. So, ScreenCrushmerch.com, check it out. Now, back to the Penguin. In the final scene of the episode, Oz gets a new car, a new fancy apartment, and his comic-accurate suit. And this new look is, of course, inspired by his favorite movie growing up, Top Hat, a movie about mistaken identities and high society life. Pretending and lying is Oz's whole existence. Oz understands that to be the kingpin of Gotham, you have to be a reputable crime lord. So he gives Gotham a bad guy, Sophia Falcone, someone to fear, someone to hate. And he gives Sal Maroni the credit for his drug operation.
You got an opportunity here. Give the people someone to hate and someone to love.
But in doing so, Oz gains the favor and respect from the people who actually run the city. But among the criminal underworld, people will remember that Oz defeated the Falcones and the Maronis. He is the kingpin of Gotham.
I got you! I f***ing got you! I got you! Take that, you friggin' psycho!
So this is Oz finally becoming the respected criminal he always aspired to be. And the penthouse with the view overlooking the city is what he promised to Frances.
On the top floor, in a penthouse like you want, with a view of the whole friggin' city.
But after her breakdown, she is in a vegetative state. In the end, the dream Frances wanted Oz to give her becomes, well, a bit of a nightmare. Him keeping her alive isn't some sadistic punishment. In the end, it wasn't about giving his mother the life that she deserves. It is all about him feeling proud of himself for his achievements. This is pure narcissist behavior. It's all about his image, how him getting what he wants and lacking true empathy to anyone except himself. His loving kindness is always conditional.
I know. It's everything you wanted.
But this is the ultimate betrayal. Frances made Oz promise that he would never let her live this way.
If my mind goes before my body's ready, I need you to help me. You gotta help me die.
I'll do it.
But he betrays his own word. He's too weak to let her go. And if you look closely, Frances's room looks like a prison cell. The window has these bars like in a prison cell, and like the bars we saw in the funeral scene for Alberto that Sophia was looking out, which called back to her time in Arkham Asylum and foreshadowed her return to Arkham Asylum. But anyway, this part on the ceiling makes the room look like a padded cell in an asylum. And what's so messed up about this scene is that while Frances is trapped in Oz's hell, Eve is downstairs wearing Frances's dress. She even wears her hair the same way Frances used to. It's like Oz replaces his mother with Eve. He even talks to her as if she's Frances. It's super creepy.
Tell me you're proud of me.
I am so proud of you.
I did it, Ma.
I knew you would. My beautiful boy.
What a little bitch.
So wait, I don't get this part. Is Oz delusional, or does he actually believe his girlfriend is his mom now?
No, I don't think so. Oz is very aware of his reality. Oz's narcissism allows him, though, to twist reality to make himself look like the hero of his own story. It goes back to the murder of his brothers. He repressed all of those traumatic memories, and then he convinced himself that any crime can be justified. And as long as he keeps that lie going, it won't be true. Hence, he's justified. You can even see his face going through so many emotions when Sophia confronts him about it. His eyes immediately dart to his mother to see if he was caught, and then comes the denial.
What the hell are you talking about?
And what's so evil here is that Oz exploits his mother's dementia.
You're getting things confused. It's just your disease talking, Ma.
It's like it never happened. This also parallels Carmine protecting his lie at the expense of his daughter. So these supposedly powerful kingpins are all willing to let the woman they claim to love so deeply suffer for the sake of hiding their horrible crimes.
You're the devil. You're the goddamn devil.
Now, the final moment of the series is Eve saying that Gotham is Oz's and nothing is standing in his way. But as the camera pans out, the bat signal lights up the sky, as if to say that Batman is about to stand in Oz's way, which of course he is.
I want to see the penguin.
So this way, it's like a nice handoff from this amazing show to the next chapter, which is of course the Batman Part 2. And we've got a huge theory coming up in a future video about how the Penguin leads into the Batman 2. We believe this show gave us all the clues for who's going to be the main villain and what stories we're going to get in that sequel, so be sure to stick around for that video. It will be coming very, very soon. So, watching the Penguin, it's like Batman doesn't even exist. No one talks about him. None of these criminals even mention mention him despite the waging gang war. And Batman had a big role taking down Carmine, so it's strange that this doesn't even come up once in the show. I think the only time we hear mention of the Batman is in the first episode in that news segment where they mention the Bat Vigilante.
And we are live watching the Batman Vigilante atop Gotham Square Garden, helping to save the lives of hundreds of injured victims.
According to Matt Reeves, the choice was deliberate. Batman is like a specter, and he's out there, but the criminals have no idea when and where he will show up next.
Fear is a tool.
And we also have to remember that Batman is kind of a new commodity in Gotham. He was only in his second year in the Batman.
Boy, you're everything they say, ain't you? I guess we both are.
And at the same time, the show takes place a week after the events of that first movie, and yes, there is a time jump at the start of the 6th episode. But don't forget that Batman took a shotgun blast to the chest. Alfred almost died. And he's also probably trying to do some good as Bruce Wayne, like help with the repairs and support all of the citizens who lost their homes and loved ones.
Your family has a history of philanthropy, but as far as I can tell, you're not doing anything.
Now, our theory is that the show's creators were too worried that even mentioning Batman or Bruce Wayne would create expectations for a cameo. If those expectations weren't met, by including Batman, the fans would have been angry and they would have trashed the show. I think DC and HBO were wary of being the something to do with Batman, I think universe.
Batman scares me, Dwight. Let's not talk about Batman.
I think they made the right choice in not mentioning Batman really at all. Their dedication to just focusing on this character, I thought they handled it really well. Chef's kiss, they handled it brilliantly, showing the bat signal at the end of the show.
You just gotta know your audience.
And hey, in the show's defense, the gang war and all the other crimes only highlight why Gotham so desperately needs Batman, now more than ever. Now, the Penguin was amazing. I really enjoyed the show and breaking down all of the episodes. So let us know, what did you think about the ending of the Penguin? What other Batman spin-offs do you hope we get? Let me know down in the comments below. I want to give a special shout out to the writer and editor of this video, my good friend Pavel. Thank you so much, my friend. And if you're new here, hey, be sure to subscribe, smash that bell for alerts. For ScreenCrush, I'm Colton Ogburn.